they're going to be the truck to beat. Johnny Sauter doesn't want to hear about all these kids. He just turned 40. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder, and he's going to go out and show the world tonight. They got to go through Johnny Sauter if they're going to win races here in the Truck Series.
Well, Sauter doesn't have many boxes left to check off, but one of them would be winning at Iowa. He has never won here before. He's been runner-up, but he hasn't gone to victory lane and taken that checkered flag, so maybe tonight is the night for Johnny Sauter. We're getting close to race time here at Iowa.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Special Olympics of Iowa athlete Tommy DeGrado as she delivers the most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
We've had 5 different winners in 8 races this season. Is it going to be somebody new this week? We're about to find out from Iowa.
How do you win at Iowa?
They're 3-1, they bump as they go down the back straight. Oh, trouble. Oh, and around goes the 30.
Heavy damage on the front end.
Yeah, he's going to point at somebody.
Tonight he has done it.
He crosses the strike first at Iowa Speedway.
Johnny Sauter. Iowa Speedway. What's better than short track racing
On a beautiful summer night.
Oh! Man, crashing hard into the outside wall.
That's going to bring out the caution.
3 wide for the top spot.
Through turns 1 and 2, and Nemechek busts out in front.
Nemechek grabs the lead. Tonight he has done it.
John Hunter Nemechek wins at Iowa. It is game time under perfect blue skies in Corn Belt Country. NASCAR Camping World Truck Series from Iowa Speedway. Race number 9 of the season, and we are ready to go on one of the most enjoyable racetracks I think we come to all season long. Our Camping World track description.
Man, these drivers absolutely love this place, Vince. It's 7/8 of a mile, and you can see the turns are progressively banked. And what that means is 4 wide. That's how racy this place will be. They'll be all the way from the wall down to the apron racing.
Our Shell Rotella race analysis.
See, this race is 200 laps, 175 miles. Our stages are 60, 60, and 80. You see our pit window somewhere between 80 and 90 laps. That means you can run each stage with a full fuel load.
Take a look at the starting lineups from qualifying earlier this afternoon, and led by Harrison Burton, the 17-year-old who scored his first career pole.
Let's see if we can chat with him. Hey, Harrison Burton, Phil Parsons and the boys up in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
I got you loud and clear.
Harrison, great job on qualifying, first career pole. You know this racetrack has a tendency to let young guys get to victory lane. Can it be tonight for you?
Well, I think so. You know, I've got a lot of confidence in myself and my race team, and I'm really proud of our efforts so far. So we'll see what we got for them here this weekend, and hopefully we can come out of here with my first win.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
All right, boys.
Going to be fun to watch tonight. The youngster will lead the way. Take a look at our onboards.
Yeah, Ben Rhodes is going to ride in our Ford onboard. That's the Alpha Energy Solutions Ford. Starting in the 11th position, we're going to have a great view. There's a good look at Ben, and we're going to have a view from the bumper cam on this 41 truck for Ben Rhodes. Well, I hope he keeps it on there the whole night.
How long you think that'll last? Check out Stuart Friesen. He's going to row from position number 5, and you can see on the helmet there, he's got a camera on his head. We're going to get some great shots from this 52 truck. Stuart Friesen from Canada.
Race number 9 of the season, and it's the second time we've been to a short track. We had a short track race at Martinsville earlier this season. John Hunter Nemechek won that one, and Nemechek is the defending race winner here at Iowa, and he will roll off from the outside of row number 4 in that 8 machine.
These starts, the start and the restarts that will follow are going to be wild. We talked about 3 and 4 wide. Just hang on.
Harrison Burton, the pole winner on the outside, and we're green at Iowa.
Look at him fan out already.
Battle for the lead right out of the gate as Matt Crafton comes up to challenge. Trying to get it on the bottom while Harrison Burton runs that middle lane.
Most of these trucks practiced right around the bottom of the racetrack. Very few trucks ventured off the bottom, but we're going to see them all the way to the top before it's all said and done.
Yeah, these racers were all watching those Xfinity practices today, Phil, where that groove really widened out. So they know it's there. There's the 3 wide we've talked about.
Christian Eckes, his first Truck Series race in that 46. And pops David Gilliland in the 54. Here's that bumper cam from Ben Rhodes.
Tries to work underneath the 2 of Cody Coughlin.
Coughlin just able to carry more speed into the corner. There you see Friesen's looking to the inside of Dalton Sargent. Trucks are racing for the 6th position.
Johnny Sauter back there, the 4-time winner this season, just inside the top 10. Starting to, there's Sauter in that blue and white 21.
Following the 18 of Noah Gregson, a lot of talk in the garage area was that all the KBM trucks were really fast. Noah Gregson, we talked about his 2 teammates at the top of the show. Noah's been fast too.
And how about those 3? You've got Gregson in the 18, Sauter the 21, Brett Moffitt in the 16. All 3 are winners this season.
Absolutely, all 3 qualified for the playoffs.
Right now they're running 8th, 9th, and 10th.
What about just behind them? David Gilliland, and then behind him, Christian Eckes. Gilliland's seen it all. Eckes is seeing it all for the first time here tonight, making his debut, and he's got a really fast Toyota.
Moffitt, the Iowa native in that 16 truck inside of Johnny Sauter. For position, that's for 9th. Sauter's going to hold him off.
Phil, I wonder how much these drivers are being a bit conservative right now with their tires. They know they're going to probably have to go 60 laps. You run them hard right now, you might pay for it on the other end. There could be some patience out of a guy like Johnny Sauter right now, just logging some laps.
And Michael, we don't have any history from last year. Remember, this race last year started an hour and a half later. The racetrack got dark, cooled off. It's still going to be light outside, I think, when this race ends. And the guys think their temperature will still be about 88 to 89 degrees when the race ends.
There's David Gilliland in the 54. Of course, it's a family affair for the Gillilands here tonight. David running the 54 for his own team, DGR Crossley Racing, and then his son, 18-year-old Todd Gilliland, is running up in 3rd place in that 4 truck for Kyle Busch Motorsports.
There's another father-son combination out there, the Nemecheks. Yep. And John Hunter runs right along behind Todd Gilliland there in the 4. There you see a good shot of John Hunter. That'd be a pretty good Father's Day present, wouldn't it? Get a win for your dad?
Absolutely.
John Hunter, one of those that'll be running double duty this weekend, runs the truck race tonight, and then he'll run the Xfinity race tomorrow for Ganassi. Got 4 guys that are doing double duty, including Justin Haley, who's having a good season here in the trucks. Currently runs 5th in that 24 truck right there. He's going to make his Xfinity Series debut tomorrow night.
Pretty good car today in the Xfinity Series, didn't he, Michael?
Yes, sir. Along with John Hunter Nemechek. John was really fast in those practices.
With Stuart Friesen in the visor cam.
You know, I picked him as one of my favorites to win this race, Vince, and I did it because he's never been here before. Does that make any sense? Well, let me explain to you my thinking.
Zero.
Let me explain to you my thinking. When you're a dirt racer, every racetrack you go to is different. I mean, everywhere they can go to the same racetrack 2 nights in a row, and it just be different moisture, different grip all over. Stuart Friesen knows how to adjust and adapt, I think, better than any racer I've seen that have shown up lately. I love the way he wheels this truck.
Up front is Harrison Burton, the first laps led for this youngster here in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Hermie?
Vince, very impressive. Is Harrison Burton, no question about it. You look at his limited starts in the truck series. His last 3 starts, all top 10 finishes, including a 5th at Dover. He does things a lot like his dad, Jeff Burton, effectively but quietly, He's not very outspoken, but certainly gets the job done. I talked to Mike Gilman Jr. just before the race, and I said, what has impressed you most about Harrison Burton? He just says he really is consistent with the laps he runs on the racetrack. He gives really detailed feedback and always has a good positive attitude. Trouble on the racetrack, Ben.
And that is the 10 of Jennifer Jo Cobb, and she's able to get down off the track to pit lane, so we are staying green.
See a flat tire there on the right front for Jen Jo.
Good job getting down. We saw her get way up out of the groove, and that tire went down, was able to keep it off the wall, did a good job of staying out of the way of the oncoming traffic and being able to get that down onto pit road. Back up front with Harrison Burton. One of the things that I think has been interesting about Burton, not only has he run the truck, but also ARCA, K&N, super late model, run a little bit of everything this year. It's paying off for him. Harrison Burton continues to run out front. NASCAR Camping World Truck Series from Iowa Speedway, Newton, Iowa, about 30 miles east of the state capital, Des Moines. And it's been a good start to the race for Matt Crafton, too, looking very sporty. Caitlin?
Yeah, he certainly has been. I mean, he's still looking for his first win of the year, but he's getting some positive reinforcement right now from his spotter saying, your exits look awesome, you're running a good pace. But Matt Crafton was saying the only feedback to the team is still a little bit free on the right rear. But talking with Matt earlier today, he feels like this team is starting to progress in the right direction, and he feels confident that win, that first win of 2018, it's coming.
One win in his last 48 starts. That's not enough when you're Matt Crafton and Junior Joyner. They are way more competitive than that in their minds.
Yeah, I was talking to Junior after practice, and he said, we came with a little bit different setup, a little departure from what we normally run. And he said, if we saw enough positive things about it, we're going to pursue this. He said, we really think we have a pretty good truck. And by George, he sure does through 20 laps anyway.
Yeah, I think this has been maybe the most solid day of recent history for this team. They just struggled during practice even, it seems like lately, and Matt's liking the way the truck's feeling here. I like the direction Junior and the team have gone with the setup, so see if Matt can keep it up. Just keep up with the track. It's going to go through a bit of a transition as it starts to cool off this evening, so it'll be interesting to see which one of these driver crew chief combinations are able to stay up with the racetrack.
It's been a nice little battle between these two, Justin Haley in the 24 and Stuart Friesen in the 52. Good look from Friesen's visor cam at the back end of Haley's truck. They have been going at it for several laps.
I think since the drop of the green flag, it seems like.
This is for fifth.
I just can't get over how quickly Stuart Friesen has adapted. You know, he's only been doing this now, you know, on a full-time basis for about a year and a half, just a handful of races prior to that. And man, he adapted. His only experience was on dirt as he makes his way. Ooh, somebody in the outside wall.
Caution is out, and
that's
that
the
is
four.
The
Todd
Gilliland.
I think maybe a right front tire went down on that truck, Mike, or did he get loose? And
it looks like it possibly hit with the right rear first. Maybe, Phil. I don't know. We'll have to get a replay. It looked like he just maybe got loose.
A big blow to Gilliland, and this is a team that technically they can make the playoffs on points, but there's so many points behind. They've really got to win to get in, and it's going to be another opportunity lost today.
It looked like the right side tires were up on that truck, didn't it, Michael?
Yeah, the way that back end has been up, I thought maybe it went into the outside wall with the right rear first, perhaps just got up there a little bit too high and got loose, but there just wasn't any proof of it there. What's he saying, Hermie? You got any idea?
Michael, he was saying he was wrecking loose from the drop of the green flag, so he's been fighting a loose condition, certainly moving around on the racetrack, trying to find a line to run to maintain some roll speed with this Ford truck, but he's been loose since they very started, and obviously got into the wall and compounded their issue.
You know, he is running in the third spot right behind Matt Crafton, as we were talking about Matt, just within a few truck lengths.
At least it's still rolling, but a lot of damage to the four of Todd Gilliland. An early issue for a driver who couldn't afford one. Todd Gilliland in a position where, for the most part, needs to win to get into the postseason. because he missed those 4 races earlier this year before turning 18 years old. Now he's in the truck full time, but he's so many points back, 106 points back coming into this race, and just doesn't have enough time probably to point his way in, and that puts the emphasis on winning. And he's into the wall early here at Iowa.
Yeah, I don't think they've got enough repairs made to the right front of that truck. I'm afraid that tire is going to rub, and the suspension's all down, so he's got more issues to come, I think.
Also, the 41 of Ben Rhodes came to pit road. Hermie?
Vince, exactly the opposite handling characteristics that we just spoke of with Todd Gilliland. The 41 truck, very tight, will not turn, especially as he moves up the racetrack. They came down pit road, took some wedge out of this truck. It was fuel only and a chassis adjustment for the 41.
And just to simple it down for you, if you're wrecking loose, you're going to hit with the back end when you go into the wall. If you're tight, the front end wants to go into that outside wall. So both those guys are fighting issues. The tight issue is a little easier to control.
You get more notice. You get more warning if the car's tight. That's why a street car today on the highway will always be on the tight side, because the driver doesn't have to know that it's what it's going to do. He can feel what it's going to do. When a car's loose, then as Michael said, the back end jumped out from under Todd Gilliland's truck before he could even do anything about it.
Well, and Ben Rhodes in that 41 camp, you heard Hermie's pre-race report. They had some serious issues last week, mechanically driven at Texas, and ended up falling a couple of laps down because they had to pit under green and finish 16th.
Let's watch what this 52 truck does on the start. We talked about 3 and 4 wide. We know how aggressive Friesen can be. Let's see what he does up there.
He was the first guy to jump out of line on the initial start.
And this is just how they started the race, with Harrison Burton, the pole winner, on the outside, and Matt Crafton on the inside. Restart underway, back green at Iowa.
So Noah Gregson's going to be the guy that's going to jump out of line to the inside.
Trying to get underneath Justin Haley, but didn't have a very good angle. How about Crafton around the top?
He just went for it. He dove down in turn 1, never let off the gas. And it looks like he's going to make it work.
Oh, and there's another KBM truck, and this one's Christian Eckes making his Truck Series debut tonight.
Left front tire is down on that truck. Looks like that may be Austin Hill. It is Austin Hill. See some damage to the right side.
Oh, Grant
Enfinger also.
So a variety of trucks involved here.
Looks like contact to the left rear possibly started this.
Second yellow early on. Look at the 2 of Cody Coughlin as he gets.
Oh, he gets squeezed.
Squeezed a little bit by the 46 of Eckes. He had the 13 of Mike Snyder.
Oh.
Ooh, did you see Ben Rhodes go through there?
But he got some damage too, Phil.
Let's ride with Ben Rhodes. This is going to scare me, Michael. Oh. Yeah, he just got clipped as he went through there. He jumped in the throttle to try to squeeze through there before the hole closed up. You see the damage to the right side of that 41 truck.
You also heard him working that throttle, trying to keep it out of the wall all the way till it made contact. So he did all he could do. I talked earlier today about some wrecks are just unavoidable. They happen right in your lap. He did exactly what he needed to do to miss that wreck. He just wasn't able to get through.
Tough on a couple of ThorSport trucks, the 41 and the 98.
And there you see
Eckes.
I don't see a great deal of damage to Eckes' Mobil 1 truck. We saw the left front tire was down on that truck.
It just looked like maybe he wasn't aware that they were 3 wide, Phil. Maybe moved up a little bit and just squeezed Cody down.
Yeah, Myatt Snyder pulled in at the last moment. Watch Myatt in the 13. He's going to jump to the outside of Cody Coughlin. Has a good run going right now, and I think you're right. I don't think Christian Eckes knew that he was on the bottom of 3 wide. He had Cody stuck in the middle there.
Look at the 97 of Jesse Little. He was able just to thread his way through there sideways, but he made it through. That was another example of just awesome driving.
That could have been 10 trucks instead of 3.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, Rhodes got clipped, and then he himself clipped the wall.
I
with
think
that
he
right
made contact
rear.
with Austin Hill in the 0-2.
I think
Enfinger has come in to have his damage addressed.
I don't think Rhodes' damage is too bad. We saw Enfinger get clipped there when they were slowing down.
I think they'll be able to make repairs to this 98 truck without without hurting it too much.
Enfinger ran 4th last week at Texas, and we talked about in the open, he is a driver that they believe they are right there. They are one small step away from winning.
Tell you what, Phil, when I know all the craftsmanship and the handwork that goes into building one of these trucks to win a race, and I see a guy taking a hammer to it, it just breaks my heart.
Just slapping a big piece of tape on it.
The biggest hammer they can find, they beat it out with.
But I think you're right. I think the repairs on Grant's truck are going to enable him to still be competitive. I'm a little bit concerned about that right front on Rhodes' truck where he got into the outside wall, might have knocked his front toe off.
Well, it's been exciting. Don't go anywhere. More of this to come, that's for sure. Trucks at Iowa. Hey, everybody needs a snack.
There's a lot of corn around there.
Keep your belly full.
That bunny likes corn.
Oh, don't want him out in the cornfield. That's not good. It won't be a good ending for Mr. Bunny. Got a ringside seat for the truck action, and there has been plenty of it early on. Had a caution for Todd Gilliland getting up and getting into the wall, and then Christian Eckes, Ben Rhodes, Grant Enfinger all taking on contact.
Wonder if Harrison Burton learned anything from Matt Crafton's restart. Matt Crafton just drove all the way down in the center. Reminded me of Carl Edwards in Kansas, that pass he tried to make late in the race.
That one didn't work, though.
This one worked for Matt. It was impressive.
So this restart, it'll be Crafton as your lead vehicle, and that's Matt in that bright neon 88. Still stage 1, and we are racing in Iowa. 23 to go in the first stage. John Hunter Nemechek jumping out to second.
Hey, Matt got such a good restart. He was able to pull the 8 of John Hunter Nemechek along with him.
Noah Gregson in that 18.
Look at Friesen.
Coming
Looks
around
to the outside.
Stuart Friesen in the 52, 3 wide, and going to make it work.
We saw the outside groove come in last year late in the race. Chase Briscoe jumped up top and drove to the lead. I don't think we're going to catch anybody by surprise this time. Oh,
it's close.
The bumper cam of Ben Rhodes. How about that look?
Wow. There's Grant Enfinger out there in the 98. Believe it or not, every one of those trucks that was involved in an incident all stayed on the lead lap.
And they've also gotten off the crash clock and they're able to continue. There's a battle for the lead. John Hunter
challenging Matt Crafton. We've got 2 former winners here at Iowa in the field, and it's those 2 guys right there. John Hunter Nemechek won last year. Matt Crafton won in 2011, and they are doing battle for the lead here at stage 1.
8s are wild. Stuart Friesen right behind these 2.
Crafton able to fight off that attempt from Nemechek.
Stewart says, y'all keep that up, I'll be right there. Looks like maybe Friesen's a little bit faster than Matt Crafton, and John Hunter is able to close right up. Decides to take it low into the turn.
That's one of the things everybody likes about Iowa, and the fact that you can roll. The fact you can run just about anywhere on this track, and gives you lots of options.
Got a little bit of loose there off of 2.
Harrison Burton coming up to get into the mix now, has taken over 3rd place from Friesen after Friesen had to catch it.
What a great battle for the lead here between Nemechek and Crafton.
Johnny Sauter lurking inside the top 5 now. You see him there.
Side by side, Crafton and Nemechek. Neither one will give an inch. Throw a blanket over the top 5. Sauter and Friesen in that mix as well, with Harrison Burton in 3rd, John Hunter Nemechek 2nd, and they're chasing the neon yellow 88 of Matt Crafton.
Comes Friesen again, jumps underneath, gets all the way up beside of Nemechek, and then his momentum stalls out.
Harrison Burton, the pole winner in that 51 truck, and Stuart Friesen, last week's runner-up at Texas, battling for 3rd.
Really hard to keep your momentum up off the corner when you're stuck down on the bottom like that. The truck just wants to get loose as you pin it over to the left, and Matt Crafton is doing a perfect job of holding the line that is making it very difficult for the competitors to make that move.
I'm not sure there wasn't a little bit of contact between Nemechek and Crafton there on exit.
So I think we've seen plenty of contact already early in this affair.
Well, it's late in the race, right? Oh, maybe not.
Not even late in stage 1 yet. They got 15 to go here in this stage, but look at Nemechek all over the back bumper of Matt Crafton.
Well, we talk about this racetrack. Michael, you talked about the progressive banking. 12 degrees on the bottom, 14 degrees on the top. There's grip around this racetrack, all around this racetrack from bottom to top.
You know, we talked about it being a short track at 7/8 mile, but it has a lot of intermediate track tendencies. But the way they've been beating and banging, it's a short track.
Yeah,
it's short track racing.
I will call it a short track every day of the week.
How about a fast short track? Will you call it that?
It's a short track with 150-mile-an-hour speeds. That's pretty cool.
I love this shot from Friesen in the visor cam. He's got a good look at the two battling for the lead, and Friesen's been up in that mix all the laps so far.
John Hunter can just taste that lead, can't he? He knows that's a difficult pass to make down on the bottom, but he just can't help but to continue to try to make the move. Look at Friesen. Nice little move up next to John Hunter off too.
You notice he didn't go all the way down to the bottom that time like he had been. He stayed in the middle of the racetrack. It looked like he didn't lose as much momentum up off the corner. Now Harrison Burton's going to be right down on the bottom.
Johnny Sauter is just hanging out in 5th. How about it, Caitlin, with Sauter?
Yeah, well, I had a chance to talk with Johnny and his road crew mechanics earlier today about the success they've had so far this season. And they were explaining to me it's just as much fun for the mechanics as it has been for the driver. It's a very close-knit group of guys. They go out to dinner on the road with Johnny all the time. But right now, concerning this race, a track that Johnny's never won at, he's just saying he's sideways off the corner and no side bite right now for that 21.
And he's trying to grab that 4th spot from Harrison Burton into 51. And we've got a 3-truck battle for the lead. Crafton, Nemechek, and Friesen.
Bobby Roos in the 15 goes right down to the bottom to get out of the way. Leaves room through the middle for Friesen.
And now here comes Harrison Burton up beside Friesen.
10 laps to go in stage 1. How about Friesen, Hermie?
Do we need to remind our viewers that today was the first time that Stuart Friesen had ever been on this racetrack? What a quick learner. Slipping and sliding around is what he has always done in his racing career. He's going to get up there and mix it up as we see a battle. Nemechek takes the lead.
John Hunter Nemechek worked Crafton, worked him, and finally completed the pass. But, man, he had to earn it.
Remember, we talk about Harrison Burton, we talk about Noah Gragson, we talk about all these other young drivers, Todd Gillen. They all have experience here in either ARCA, K&N, or both. Stuart Friesen, 0 laps at this racetrack.
Looks like it's working out pretty good. That's why I picked him. He's my man. See, Johnny Sauter, I just think saving your tires maybe could pay dividends as we run to the end of this stage, and especially in that 3rd stage. Johnny just kind of has been settled right in the 5th position. Not a whole lot of side-by-side racing for Sauter. Maybe his truck will come to him later in the run. This stage is about over, though.
8 laps to go. Johnny Sauter right now currently in the 5th spot in this stage. He has been in the top 10 the last 32 consecutive stages dating back to last year.
That almost sounds impossible, doesn't it?
Listen to Friesen brush the wall here. Just listen. Did you hear just how the pitch changed? You also heard a little squeaking from the truck grazing the wall.
He also had to make room for the 51 of Harrison Burton because he was coming up to the high side.
Stuart Friesen, just as it's his first time here, but he's no rookie. I mean, 34 years old. He's done a lot of racing around the country, wins regularly up in the Northeast as he races the late models and on the dirt primarily. Then came to the Truck Series and has really taken to the pavement and has been a contender. It seems each race this season just keeps getting better and better.
We talk about it all the time, and I've talked about it for a year now. Took that bit of a hiatus around this time last year. That's why he didn't run this race last year. But they came back. They got together with GMS Racing. Now they're a part of GMS, and they have been on it ever since that association began.
Right now running in fourth with Johnny Sauter behind him in fifth. Sauter has won back-to-back races, going for 3 in a row.
And Johnny Sauter knows the adjustments he needs, Vince, and he communicates so well with his crew chief, Joe Shear Jr. They'll be on the right page when they make this pit stop. That's what I'm going to be interested to see. These truckers have had to deal with their trucks the way they started the race, and after qualifying, they're going to work on them now. We'll see who makes the right adjustments after this stage end.
Coming to 2 to go in this first stage. Harrison Burton led the first 31 laps, and then Matt Crafton led 19. John Hunter Nemechek finally wrestled the lead away from Crafton.
Looks like John Hunter Nemechek wants to go back-to-back here at Iowa Speedway.
And knowing John Hunter, he's thinking, I could win 2 this weekend. I'll win the truck race on Saturday, and then I'll win the Xfinity race on Sunday. I mean, that's the way he thinks, and his car was pretty good in that Xfinity practice earlier today.
Be a nice little Father's Day present for Joe, wouldn't it?
Final lap in stage 1, and John Hunter Nemechek is cruising to the green and white checkered flag. A winner earlier this season at Martinsville. His second stage win of the season. John Hunter Nemechek crossing the line, and stage 1 is complete at Iowa. Crafton, Burton, Friesen, and Sauter, your top 5. It has been tight at every turn. Don't go anywhere. We're just getting warmed up at Iowa. John Hunter Nemechek wins stage 1 here at Iowa. Harrison Burton, the third place truck, had a problem. Hermie, what's going on?
The throttle quit working inside the truck. They came down pit road and went under the hood briefly, but he said he lost all the throttle with the truck. Then the truck cut off. He could not get it back going again, but he did come back down pit road. They think they've got it corrected, and they've discussed how he can prevent that problem from happening again. The downside of it is he lost all of his track position.
Well, he's going to have to start at the back because he came into the pits while the pits were closed, so he'll be penalized for that. John Hunter Nemechek leading them down pit road. Matt Crafton diving off. Caitlin's there.
Yeah, Vince, Matt Crafton telling the team still just a little bit 3 off, so I just asked crew chief Junior Joyner. He said we're going to make an air pressure adjustment. Also, 4 tires, give them a water as well. It's 90 degrees right now in Newton, Iowa. Hermie.
Caitlin, John Hunter Nemechek will make a small air pressure adjustment, not because a little bit of wedge as well. The truck, they're adjusting to the tires. This set of tires has a little more wedge in them than the tires they're taking off, so they're making an adjustment for that. The 52 of Stuart Friesen, his truck was a little bit free on entry at the end of that run. He's down and away. He will, looks like he'll beat the 18 off pit road, but 88 Crafton down first.
So Matt Crafton, who has led 19 laps, gets off pit road first, and we're going to talk to him.
Hey, Crafton, it's Michael Waltrip, Vince, and Phil and the guys in the Fox booth. Do you copy?
Yes, sir. Got loud and clear.
Well, that was a nice little start to this event for you. Good pit stop. Have you got the adjustments you need to think to win this race?
Oh, absolutely. I'm having a lot of fun here today. Been able to move around. This asphalt's wore out and get this slipping and sliding. Actually, use 2 feet today instead of some of the places we go to only use 1 of them. So, have a good time.
Well, I'm telling you, it's fun to watch. Keep it up. Good luck.
Sure.
There have been some struggles for the 88 team this season, but tonight doesn't seem to be one of them. Good start for Crafton. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series from Iowa Speedway getting ready to go back green to begin stage 2. Christian Eckes in that 46 truck was involved in an incident earlier in stage 1, and when he came to pit road to get a little repair, he put some fresh tires on as well, so he stayed out, did not come to pit road during that series of stops. So Eckes will be in the lead, but he'll have tires that are about 30 laps older than those around him.
He
So
should
it'll
be pretty
interesting to
vulnerable
see,
right
yes.
now, I would think.
And we know Matt Crafton's playing on this restart. Just don't let off when he gets to turn 1 again.
Stage 2 underway at Iowa.
John Hunter in that black truck, third one on the outside. We know how hard he worked to get that lead earlier. He said, guys, I'm going to have to do all that again.
Wow, Noah Gregson shot out of a cannon around the top for the lead.
John Hunter Nemechek's going to follow the 18 of Gregson around the outside.
And that's Stuart Friesen behind Nemechek in third. Crafton got hung up there behind the slower 46 of Eckes and lost several positions. And now Crafton's got to fight his way through, currently riding 5th.
Now for Eckes, it's just a matter of just knowing what you have, knowing that you have older tires. Try not to get run into by faster trucks. Stay on the lead lap.
They only had 4 sets. You get the set they started with and 3 sets on the ground. So it's not like you can just keep coming, get tires at every whim.
And I love that, Vince. You gotta use some strategy. You gotta be conservative. You need to be able to be different too at times from the other crew chiefs, just in case someone has a dominant truck and you can figure out a way to get track position on pit road.
Friesen looking back at Johnny Sauter. Friesen running 3rd. Sauter 4th. Matt Crafton just behind them in 5th.
We thought Matt Crafton was going to be in the driver's seat on that restart, starting around on the inside of the 46, but the 46 drove down in turn 1 and kept him at bay. Gregson jumped on the outside.
Is that an indicator of how strong that outside lane is on a restart, even with the older tires like Eckes had?
I just think you want to be up there. We've talked about how hard it is to get to the bottom and make those passes. It hasn't stopped Stuart Friesen from trying, though. I'm going to tell you that. He's been biting down on the bottom, and looks like he's got a nice run on Nemechek off the turn.
Remember how good Nemechek's truck was at the end of stage number 1. Stuart Friesen thought about going around the outside, and the 8 took his line away. Now he's going to move to the inside.
Friesen for 2nd on Nemechek. Slides up to him, but Nemechek is there. Friesen couldn't clear. Nemechek holds on to 2nd. Friesen not done yet, going right back to the bottom.
Friesen's a dirt racer from Canada. He's performed a few slide jobs where you go down to the corner and take the other competitor's line away. That looked like he was tempted to try that there, but he gave John Hunter room on the outside. Got a really strong truck, though.
Hook the bottom.
And Nemechek trying to make the move on Gregson right on the bumper, and Nemechek going underneath for the lead. John Hunter Nemechek, the winner of stage 1, challenging Noah Gregson.
Well, that 8 truck is strong tonight.
But that outside line, it just seems like the momentum there is so good, but Nemechek makes it stick. Gregson had thoughts of crossing back over, but Nemechek's going to fight him off because here comes Friesen. He takes 2nd, and he's going to challenge for the lead.
Vince, you getting tired? Describing all this
action. Need a break.
I think Noah was having thoughts about moving to the inside before Stuart Friesen moved to the inside of him. Let's see if he can clear Nemechek.
Wow.
I believe he's got it.
Friesen to the front.
And here comes John Hunter to the bottom.
Crossing over. Action all over the place, and especially out front tonight. Look at Nemechek and Friesen just going back and forth.
We just have, what, a couple laps to go in this stage?
Oh, we just started.
How about Stuart Friesen? Michael, you called it.
Yeah, this is his kind of racetrack. You got to find the grip. You got to move around and figure out a way to pass the other competitors. And man, he is using all of his short track knowledge to accomplish that tonight. I don't care if it's pavement or dirt. These guys are slipping and sliding. Stuart Friesen is on it.
And don't look now, but here comes Johnny Sauter. Sauter now going to challenge Nemechek for 2nd. Caitlin?
Vince, but never shy to give feedback on the radio. He's saying no front grip, no rear grip, no grip at all. I can't touch the gas, as crew chief Joe Shear Jr. responded. I know you're complaining a lot, but believe it or not, you do have a fast truck. He's currently holding that 3rd spot down. Hermie.
Well, Caitlin, the 18 of Noah Gregson was recently running up front for the lead, but that was due to some good pit work by Rudy Fugel and crew. At the beginning of the race, he qualified 3rd, but it dropped back just inside the top 10, this truck will not turn. It will not rotate through the center. So they got in some good pit work, got him out front, but now same issue again. They got some more work to do to Noah Gregson to give him a shot to win.
I'll tell you one truck they've tuned up though, Hermie, and that's the 21 of Johnny Sauter. He's able to run really low on the racetrack, not slip or slide one tire. It just comes up straight off the turn, and he's all over John Hunter right now.
And remember, that truck doesn't handle very well. That's not handle. That's what he just told Joe Shear
no
Jr.
front grip, no rear grip, or no grip overall.
If he ends up getting some grip, the rest of them are in big trouble. Wow, this one has been exciting. Everything we expected it to be. We got to go to commercial break, but you're not going to miss a lap. Side by side, going to keep on trucking from Iowa.
Toyota, let's go places.
He's got it righted. Pass by the 18. Contact. Oh, into the wall hard, and they pile up behind him. Here they go. Wow, what a race. Wow, what a run.
As people who love the outdoors, we know what we stand for. We stand for fish, wildlife, and conserving the places they call home. We stand for the traditions we inherited and that we must pass on. We stand for great gear, fair prices, expert service, and memorable experiences. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we stand together for you.
Nothing gets a family's full attention like my freshly prepared chicken. The delicious KFC $20 fill-up with 8 pieces of extra crispy chicken and sides will surely get your kids off their phones. And they may even look at you, their loving parent. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
All week we work, and when Friday comes, we all get to raise a little hell.
Six different leaders so far this evening. Stuart Friesen currently out front. Here in stage 2 from Iowa, Harrison Burton has led the most laps tonight. He's been out front for 31, but Burton had some issues, which his throttle stuck right at the end of stage 1. He ended up having to come to pit road while the pits were closed. He suffered a penalty, had to go to the back, but he is starting to work his way back through the pack, Hermie.
I want to clarify the issue on the 51, Vince. They actually, when he came across the line to finish the first stage, they asked him to cut the engine off to save fuel. He did that, but could not get the engine back fired off again. So crew chief Mike Hillman Jr. took some responsibility because they had not fully told him exactly what he needed to do with the throttle to get that engine back fired again. So they learned together. They went to the back of the pack. He's just about back inside the top 10 right now. His truck, however, a little bit tight on exit.
Well, that's just one of the areas of inexperience. I mean, he ran a few races last year. He's run a couple of races this season. Harrison Burton just doesn't have that experience and that knowledge just yet.
And this could help him win the race tonight, Phil. Got buried back in traffic, learning how to make moves, working his way through traffic. He gets up toward the front. He'll have that knowledge, that experience of what it took to make those moves. And maybe the problem they had there at the end of that stage could be a key to them getting a win.
Remember, they had to restart at the end of the stage from the tail end. So he's made his way now all the way up to the top 10 as he gets by Jesse Little. So we know he has a good truck. And if he can just steadily move his way up a little bit closer to the front when we get to the end of stage number 2, a good pit stop by Mike Hillman's guys, and he's back in contention.
Well, and remember, Burton was the pole winner, so we know he's got raw speed as well. Go back up toward the front. That's Noah Gregson and Matt Crafton. Crafton 5th in that 88. Gregson the 18 and 4th.
You heard Crafton say he's using both feet in there. That means he's all over that brake pedal and the gas and working that gas up and down, trying to get that grip, slipping and sliding. Drivers love that challenge.
And this is his kind of track, isn't it? I mean, when you're using both feet like that, you got to use the gas, the brake. I mean, that's the way he likes it.
Yeah, he's going to make this pass right there. The line that Matt Crafton ran that last corner is the line that most of our good trucks are running right now up in that third lane. There's probably some grip up there a little higher than that. Nobody's ventured up there yet. We saw it work last year for sure. The very top of the racetrack. Nobody feels like they've needed it yet, but there may be more grip up there yet.
Crafton makes the pass for 4th on Noah Gregson.
And just like in a football game or basketball game, these teams watch game film. They watch the race from last year, see where those moves were being made, how Chase Briscoe got in a position to win, and then how ultimately John Hunter did get the victory. They got all that in their playbook, and they just determine when they want to use those plays.
The leader, Stuart Friesen, looking back at the challenger, John Hunter Nemechek.
I think Friesen can afford to be patient here. He doesn't need to ride it right out next to the wall. He just runs that high lane and says, John Hunter, if you can get it done down on the bottom, let's see it.
25 laps to go here in stage 2. And on a 7/8 mile track, those laps click off pretty quickly.
They sure do.
These trucks are cranking it up over 150 miles an hour. 3 wide, by the way.
And Chavis, Corey Roper in the 04, Wendell Chavis in the 49, and somehow Stuart Friesen squeezed by the two of them on the outside.
Yeah, I think Corey realized that they were up there, and he gave them room. Actually backed off to pull in behind Wendell Chavis to give the two leaders room.
As a lapper, when you have all that action go on all around you, when you're just trying to stay out of the way, that'll get your attention. Wendell had a solid run at Texas, but the truck just isn't as good this week for some reason.
And remember, he's doing all he can do to run the speed he's running right now. It's not like he can all of a sudden just decide to stop and turn left. He's doing all he can do. Great battle here, though, led by Cody Coughlin in the 2. That's the battle for the 8th spot.
Harrison Burton continues from the 10th position, as we said. Had that problem, had to come to pit road, working his way back up through the field, and he is now getting around Justin Haley for 9th. Trying to get around Justin Haley for 9th.
I think this 51 truck could have something to say about who wins this race before it's all said and done. Nice moves in traffic, really fast Toyota.
A set of sights on Cody Coughlin now for the next position. Meanwhile, John Hunter Nemechek continues to challenge Stuart Friesen, and that's Tanner Thorson, the lap truck in the 20. Like Nemechek tried to force Friesen into being blocked by Thorson, but Friesen was able to maneuver his way through.
I think John Hunter or his spotter realized that there may be an issue with the 52 truck getting blocked by Tanner Thorson, and said, well, let me push the issue just a little bit, let me push the envelope, but Stuart was able to make his way by Thorson.
Thorson in that 20, the 2016 USAC National Midget Series champion, making his 2nd start here in the Truck Series.
And he was racing to stay on the lead lap, so Thorson was doing everything he could. He fell a lap off the pace. You can see Cody Coughlin there in the 2 truck. Talked to his crew chief Jerry Baxter today. He said, I think we got a really good truck. We make the right adjustments for tonight's race, and we could be talking contending for a win. That just tells you how strong the 51 is right now, being able to pull around him.
Myatt Snyder, they're running in the 7th spot in the 13 truck.
But they're all chasing that man, Stuart Friesen, out front at Iowa. Back at Iowa under caution, more issues for the 4 of Todd Gilliland.
That'll do it there. I think he's heading to the garage area. They can't repair that truck, and hard contact. It looked like this run into the wall was a result of the right front tire blowing out from damage earlier.
I would think there was probably a slight tire rub, and it lasted longer than we thought it was going to.
I was going to say, you mentioned the first time he made contact and they did some repairs and sent out that you're concerned about that right front possibly rubbing.
Yeah, tough end to the night for Todd Gilliland, but he'll be back and back strong.
And this is a nice little reset for Harrison Burton too, huh? Started at the back, was able to race his way up inside the top 10. So he's in a position to run on up toward the front. There you see that 51 truck just ahead of Cody Coughlin. Give a shout out to Mike Snyder too. He's got a solid run going in his 13 Louisiana hot sauce truck.
There's a 16 of Brett Moffitt. We haven't talked a whole lot about Brett tonight. He has a solid run going. He's up in the 6th position.
Moffitt is from Iowa, and this is certainly a big day for him here in the Truck Series back at his home state. Not done racing this weekend. Tomorrow, the NASCAR Xfinity Series here at Iowa, the fastest short track on the planet. And some of NASCAR's rising stars. The action begins 4:30 Eastern right here on FS1, or as always, you can stream it live on Fox Sports Go.
Great little Father's Day event in Iowa.
Little golf tournament going on Fox as well.
Little,
yeah. Some football.
Things got tightened up over there in Long Island, New York, upstate New York.
And I think you could just hit the Fox channels this weekend and just about have it covered with the U.S. Open, the World Cup, trucks tonight, Xfinity tomorrow.
See the sweat on Stewart's face when he popped that visor up, and it's definitely hot out there. Drivers are dealing with that, though.
We heard Caitlin mention during our last round of pit stops that it was about 90 degrees.
It is hot indeed, no doubt about it.
Now this
you guys mentioned the golf, the U.S. Open. The leader at the end of yesterday was 4 under par. What the heck happened today? Yeah. I mean, Dustin Johnson was 4 under par at the beginning of the 3rd round today, and now he's 3 over.
How did he get to 3 over? He shot 7 over today.
He did.
Well, and the good news about all of it is, Vince, is he's tied for the lead. He's going to go into Sunday with a chance to be able to win this tournament still, and that's a great feeling. Justin Rose right there too. I think I'd like to see what Justin Rose is going to do tomorrow. I think he's going to be special.
And I think Phil Mickelson is still on 13. Hermie.
Vince, you guys mentioned a rebound for the 51 of Harrison Burton. How about Brett Moffitt back up to 6th position? Last time he came down pit road, he had a lug nut that got hung on the right front of this truck, went all the way, lost all that track position, and just in the last short green flag run, he came from 14th all the way back up to 6th. So the 16 of Moffitt may have something to say about who wins this thing before it's over.
Boy, they've had a tough stretch too, Hermie. They had some wall contact last week at Texas, ended up finishing 18th, and had a shot at the win the week before at Charlotte. The race before ended up 4th. At Kansas, they had a wire plug issue, finished 16th. At Dover, had a contact on the first lap of the race and ended up 12th. I mean, they've had all kind of struggles and issues, and they've been fast, but they just can't get away from the bad break.
8 spots gained by Brett Moffitt since the restart. How about Harrison Burton? We talked about him. 16 spots gained since that restart.
The 21 of Johnny Sauter's 3rd. Caitlin?
And still frustration on the radio from Johnny Sauter saying no rear lateral side bite. He said those last adjustments did nothing. And he said track bar never seems to work for me. So let's throw some wedge in. We got to do something else on this next pit stop for the 21.
Well, Joe Shear Jr., if there's anybody that is willing to make a change, and sometimes that swing is big and he's not afraid to take it.
And I love it, and that's led to much of their success. That's exactly what you have to do. We talked about that earlier. You gotta be proactive when it comes to changes. He knows this track's going to cool off. You can see the shadows coming down onto the asphalt. That's going to change the track. If Johnny Sauter's truck was perfect right now, I guarantee you Joe Shear would be working on it.
And as the sun sets, sunset not supposed to be until about 8:50 local, and here in Iowa Central Time. So we're not quite there yet, but as the shadows come over the track, it certainly changes the track temperature, even though the ambient is still up about 90 degrees. Hey, let's take this opportunity for a quick word from Busch.
Is this man your dad? He wants Busch for Father's Day. Busch.
I like it. It wasn't my dad, but you wouldn't have to twist my dad's arm to drink a cold Busch, I guarantee you that. Cleaning off the track from the accident involving Todd Gilliland.
Laps are winding down now.
Yeah,
the second stage.
We saw fire from underneath Gilliland's truck. That must have been a little oil that had leaked out, and so the NASCAR officials had to clean it up. Some decisions being made here.
Matt Crafton, Noah Gragson coming to pit road. Caitlin.
Well, taking a look at Matt Crafton, he said it fires off on the left front splitter too much, but it comes around and then it is too free. So Junior Joyner elected to pit, said we can surge back for those stage points, go ahead and do 4 tires, fuel, and an air pressure adjustment for the 88. Hermie.
The 18 of Noah Gragson, they've been fighting a tight condition on the truck. You still see them making wedge adjustments. Took some wedge out of that 18, not where they need to be. Good opportunity for them to come in, put 4 tires on it, make that adjustment, get the 18 a little bit more competitive towards the end of this show.
That's a game changer, Phil. This strategy's all over the board. It's going to be fun to see how it plays out.
Going to be the final laps of stage 2. It'll be a wild restart when we come back. Don't miss it. A lengthy cleanup after the 4 of Todd Gilliland put a bunch of fluid down on the track, and we're going to have a restart here, but with less than 10 to go in stage 2. But it's been a long time. Those top 7 stayed out.
I think these guys with new tires, they're going to have 6 green flag laps, assuming the caution doesn't come back out. I think these guys are sitting ducks up there with old tires. How about you, Mike?
I think you're going to see a nice charge from Gregson, Crafton, Brett Moffitt, and those guys that pitted. I think maybe Friesen and John Hunter can drive away far enough to where they can't get to them. Everybody else is going to be in trouble.
We've got room to go 3 and 4 wide here. Now, they shouldn't be held up much by anybody.
This is going to be fun for us to watch, and that's why we all love stage racing so much. Gives you a chance to mix things up. We talked about strategy and how important it would be trying to win this race.
Well, it's something that these guys are going to learn about maybe for a late pit stop at a different part in the race. Remember last year it all came down to Johnny Sauter staying out during a late caution and John Hunter Nemechek coming to the pits and getting 4 fresh tires, and that was the difference as Nemechek charged back through to win.
Friesen better scoot, that's all I'm going to tell you.
When they get the green flag, there will be 6 to go, and the green is waving stage 2 late laps at Iowa.
Well, he scooted out there, Friesen. He sure did.
Myatt Snyder picking up some of that oil dry that was put down on the track. Snyder there in 3rd behind Nemechek.
Look at that green truck down on the bottom.
Here comes Matt Crafton from a little deeper in the field. He's got tires.
Brett Moffitt has tires too, and he is rolling on that bottom.
Yeah, Gregson, the number 18 truck, also has tires. 4.5 laps to go to the end of the stage.
Nice job by Jesse Little running inside the top 5 on those older tires, hanging on so far.
Look at the traffic and everybody trying to make their way through, get every position they can before the end of this stage. There's David Gilliland in the 54.
See, Gregson drives by just a little. Not sure he was able to clear him. Jesse's going to drive back to the outside of Gregson. 3 to go to the end of the stage.
And that is for 4th as they battle for position, and Brett Moffitt is right there behind him. Now Moffitt comes inside of Little.
I think the 16 truck just keeps getting better and better, Phil. He's able to work that bottom. I think he's going to get around Little.
I think you're right. I think Friesen has got far enough out there on those older tires that these guys with new tires aren't going to have time to get there with only 2 to go.
They're going to be sitting pretty when this stage ends after the pit stops.
Absolutely.
And there is Moffitt. Made work of Gregson, got around Myatt Snyder as well. So Moffitt in that 16 truck to 3rd. Gregson gets around Snyder.
Wow, I just like the way that 16 truck turns across that corner. Is able to really hug the lower part of the track and keep that throttle down.
This is the final lap in stage 2. Look at him 3 wide there as the 51 of Harrison Burton gets inside of David Gilliland. Johnny Sauter's on top.
What a race here. Remember Johnny Sauter, 33 top 10s in a row in the stages coming into this one.
Stage 2 complete. Stuart Friesen takes the green and white checkers.
That's good stuff right there. Nice job by, as Keelan Harvick would call him, Ice Friesen.
Todd Gilliland has been checked and released from the care center. Let's hear from him.
Yeah, Vince, certainly a bit of an up and down day for Todd Gilliland. Todd, what were you experiencing there in the truck? Walk me through the day for you.
Yeah, to start the race, we were really fast. Just made a mistake there. I was really loose the whole first run, and then, just backed in the fence there. My fault, but I mean, at this point, there's nothing you can do except learn about it. And, thank my team for the really fast JBL Toyota Tundra for today. I feel like we've been in contention, the last 2 weeks. We had a really strong run last week at Texas, and the summer stretch is really important, so we can't let it drag us down. We just have to kind of move on, and my apologies to everyone on my team, but we'll move on together.
Thank you, Todd Gilliland. We'll move on to Gateway next week, guys.
Stage 2 complete, and it has been a fun one tonight. Not going to be any different in the final stage. Coming your way next.
Welcome back to truck racing from Iowa Speedway, where stage 2 has just been completed and pit stops are underway. And for Myatt Snider, he's coming here for the first time in a truck, and listening to him on the radio, he's saying, it's not bad. I could just use a little bit more grip there for that 13 truck. They're going to go ahead and put on 4 tires, fuel, and no adjustments for Myatt Snider. Hermie.
John Hunter Nemechek thinks he has the best truck on the long runs. Right now, he's a little bit free. They are hesitant to make any big adjustments because they think as the sun goes down, the track will tighten up, should help that truck. The 52 is Stuart Friesen, really likes his truck. He was loose earlier. They're going to tighten him up just a little bit with a left rear air pressure adjustment. A little bit of trouble with the left side, but he's down and away. He'll win the race off pit road, followed by the 13 and the 21.
And significant issues for the 8 of John Hunter Nemechek as well, Hermie. Long pit stop for Nemechek. But for Stuart Friesen, well, our stage 2 winner, and is tonight the night Friesen gets his first career win in the Truck Series. He's inching closer, Phil.
Let's chat with him. Hey, Stuart Friesen, Phil Parsons and the boys up in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
10-4, I got you, bud.
Great job there in stage number 2, but obviously with some strategy, you're going to really be behind track position-wise. You got fast enough truck to get up there and race with them for the end?
Well, I certainly hope so. Had to go and get that stage point, so I'm only getting my tires right now. And the Helmar Chevrolet is bad to the bone right now, dude, so I'm going to try our best here to close this one out.
Great job, buddy. Been fun to watch you tonight.
10-4. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Stuart Friesen is so cool. This guy just...
He's ice.
Yeah, he is indeed. Well said, Mike. Do they get all the lug nuts tight here on the left front?
1, 3. I would say he maybe got 4. I would guess.
Well, we're going to find out. Stuart Friesen, stage 2 winner at Iowa. Hey, don't miss it tomorrow. FIFA World Cup action kicks off with Costa Rica battling Serbia. It's a little football and coffee combination. 7 a.m. Eastern on Fox tomorrow. Then Germany and Mexico on FS1 at 10 a.m., followed by Brazil and Switzerland at 1 o'clock. FIFA World Cup tomorrow, Fox and FS1. Stream it live on Fox Sports Go. Through 2 stages tonight. It's the points that have been accumulated. Stuart Friesen has scored the most. He won stage 2, but he'll restart back in the 12th position.
That's your bonus for winning stage 2.
Yeah.
And it's our bonus to get to watch him drive up through this field. He's been so aggressive tonight.
Final stage underway, and Brett Moffitt shoots to the front. The hometown guy, Brett Moffitt, from right here in the state of Iowa, and he would like nothing more than to put it in victory lane tonight in front of the hometown folks.
How about the 54 truck of David Gilliland now up to the 2nd position?
We knew there'd be a Gilliland contending for the win tonight, didn't we? We just didn't know whether it'd be father or son, and David's proven that he's up to the task.
Gregson runs 3rd. Ben Rhodes and Harrison Burton filling out the top 5. And Christian Eckes back there in 6th. Eckes had a problem earlier in some pretty significant contact, but they were able to come down, fix up that truck, or at least repair it enough, and he's competitive now.
How about Friesen?
Inside the top 10.
I thought they were going to run out of room. Friesen and Matt Crafton.
Well, we were a little concerned whether they got all those lugs on that left front or not. Hermie, any issues down there for the 52?
We've checked with the tire changer. He says all was good. He came around and hit the 5th one, he said, for a 2nd time. So as far as they are concerned in the pit area, they are all good with no issues.
Well, we hope so. We hate to see that play a role in depriving Stuart Friesen of potentially his first career win in the Truck Series.
And that tire changer is the only one that truly knows. We had a glance at it, and it looked like they were a little bit off on timing, but if he got all 5 on, even 4 will hold it, so they should be in good shape.
Back up front, Brett Moffitt being challenged by David Gilliland, and in 3rd, Noah Gregson. How about this David Gilliland story? Initially, Bo Lamastus, the co-owner of this team, was scheduled to run here at Iowa, and boy, look at this. It is tight quarter racing back there with Justin Haley and Rhodes, Crafton 6, 7, 8, and 9th. Side by side for position.
Ooh, contact.
Friesen and Crafton exchanging some paint.
Oh, and it's given Crafton a tire rub. You can see the smoke coming off the 88 truck. He's not going to be happy about that either. Of course, this is short track racing. You can retaliate.
Yeah, that left front tire smoking for Matt Crafton. Johnny Sauter, the 21, is not going to move underneath Matt.
Watch it here. Watch the left front of Crafton, the 88, into the 52 of Friesen. Right there.
I think Stewart felt like there was enough room between himself and the 41 of Ben Rhodes for Matt.
Now Crafton side by side with the 21 of Johnny Sauter, a couple of former series champs.
Slide job by Ben Rhodes.
And that's going to open the door for several trucks. Rhodes cut Friesen off, and it lost all their momentum, and here comes the world.
How about this?
Oh! Big contact, Nemechek, Crafton, Rhodes, Friesen. Serious contenders for the win. And that changes everything. Wow.
You said it, serious contenders for the win, Vince. One of those being Stuart Friesen in that 52. Look at all the damage to the left side of that Halmar truck.
Wow, what a development here with 64 to go. Matt Crafton, former winner. John Hunter Nemechek, last year's winner.
Nemechek goes straight to the garage with all the damage to that 8 truck.
And that all started developing off turn 4. Ben Rhodes moved up the track. You can see right there, he got tangled up with Friesen. That opened the door for Crafton and Sauter. And here comes John Hunter Nemechek. Friesen dives to the middle.
Looks like Matt maybe got a little bit tight, lost the front end a little bit.
Oh, and Dalton Sargent too with some damage.
Did Crafton's left front go down? It looked like, I mean, it seemed like he shot up the track.
Remember, it was rubbing.
I mean, look how far up the track I think he had a problem.
I think he may have had that left front tire going down.
I mean, look, I think he did, because.
Well, we saw the rub, so that wouldn't be out of the question. And he definitely moved up and caught and started that crash with the move up the track.
But as you mentioned, Michael, it started when Ben Rhodes did the slide job on Stuart Friesen and pulled up in front of him, but they lost all the momentum. And here all those guys are going by because of the lost momentum.
Man, and when you're in that position, Phil, you know this. You have no idea your world's getting ready to come to an end. You're just focused out the front windshield, thinking you made a nice move, and watch what happens to Stuart Friesen.
See how quickly he reacted when he got caught in the left rear. Immediately turned the steering wheel, trying to save that truck.
I think that left front went down.
I think Johnny saw it.
There it is.
Down.
There it
You're
is.
exactly right.
Great camera work by our Fox Sports crew. That showed the left front down, and that's why Johnny Sauter couldn't make the turn.
Matt Crafton.
I'm sorry, Matt Crafton.
Well, Ben Rhodes is in, so you see the damage on the 41. Going to be another frustrating finish for that camp.
Our guy Stoley with the camera work there slipped right in there and got that view and answered any question we had. We knew Matt had some sort of issue, and now we know exactly what that was. Great work, guys. It's hot out there, by the way.
Yes, it is.
I'm working in the elements all day to bring the action of practice.
Well, and it has been a long day. I'm telling you what, we were on the air at 8:30 this morning, and for all of our crew in Iowa, it is hot, it is humid, it has been a long day from a couple of practices through qualifying, and you know, we get the luxury of the air conditioning, but the others that of our crew that are out there fighting the elements and dealing with the heat and humidity, tip of our cap to them for sure.
Looked like maybe a battery issue for the 24 of Haley. Looked like he was pushed in on the pit road. They jacked it up on the left side, maybe took that left rear tire off. That's where the battery's located.
They're under the hood as well. Caitlin, what's going on with the 24 truck?
Well, right before that incident, Justin Haley reported to his team that it seemed like the motor was skipping. It would run and then it wouldn't. So they decided to obviously bring him down pit road, go under the hood, check the EC unit and the engine to see if they can't figure out what the diagnosis is. Hermie.
Stuart Friesen hits his pit box. Trip Bruce is the crew chief on this truck. He's been very calm on the radio in spite of what's been going on with this 52. They told him to put the tires on now, and obviously they looked at the fenders on both right sides. They got one to the left side now. Before the left side tires go on, they are going to take some time and make sure the fenders are off of the left side of the 52. And I tell you, unless it's something I can't see, I don't think this damage is enough that's going to keep Stuart Friesen from getting back up front and contending again, unless there's something that, you know, I can't see from right here on pit road.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him working on that right rear a little bit more. It looked like that fender was bent in. You see the crewman over there.
And remember, this is where really kind of it all gets started. There's Crafton and Friesen getting together, and then ultimately Crafton's left front ends up going down, and that's what creates this mess.
You can see that left front tire definitely flat as he drove down into turn number one. He did all he could do to try to turn that truck, and it just went straight, caught the 8 of John Hunter Nemechek, and then collected everybody else.
And it looked like there was room for Matt to roll up the track there off turn 4 where he and Friesen got together.
Ben Rhodes coming back for more repairs. Watch it from this angle. You'll see, watch the 88 just shoot up the track right there. Couldn't turn it.
Yeah, caught John Hunter Nemechek in his left front. Caught Ben Rhodes in his left rear and turned him around into the outside wall. Dalton Sargent came along and made contact with Matt.
Crafton ran top 10 the first 10 trips here to Iowa, and then these last 2 races last year and this year caught up in accidents. No room for error on a 7/8 mile oval. As the NHRA Mellow Yellow Drag Racing Series reaches the halfway point of what's been another wild and unpredictable season, one thing is clear. Courtney Force has been the class of the field in funny car on the strength of 4 wins, and all 4 coming from the #1 qualifying spot. Coming up next, day 2 qualifying action from the Thunder Valley Nationals in Bristol, Tennessee.
What a weekend on Fox Sports.
Man.
Just keeps getting better, doesn't it?
Sure does.
And this race has just kept getting better and better. Action everywhere, all over the track, and it's going to come right down to it. Harrison Burton was our pole winner and has led 31 laps. And Dad Jeff Burton, probably a little nervous, got the stomach churning a little bit somewhere, right? This is, can he do it? Can he do it?
He's in a great spot. I like restarting on that outside. And I also like restarting behind Brett Moffitt. Phil, I've liked the way the 16 trucks look all race long, and Moffitt's in a position to maybe drive away and get a win here at his home track. How fun would that be for him?
Won't be his first win here, too. Big K&N combo race between the East and West. He won.
And great stories up there at the front with Moffitt and David Gilliland on the front row, Harrison Burton on the outside of row 2. Back green again at Iowa, and 56 laps left in this one.
How about the job Christian Eckes has done with his first ever start? You see him right there in that 46 truck, running in the 4th spot, racing his teammate Harrison Burton.
Got involved in a bit of a crash earlier and changed tires, was off on his strategy, but now they've rebounded, find themselves fighting inside the top 5.
Yeah, very nice job from Eckes, just 17 years old. Won the Snowball Derby a couple of years ago and kind of burst onto the national scene, and he has just continued to climb the ladder, and he's a young one, but he is a driver we're going to hear a lot about in the future. He'll run 4 times for Kyle Busch Motorsports in the truck this season. Currently sits 5th.
Oh, got a slide up top. You saw him barely hang on to the trucks.
There's a lot of slipping and sliding around on this track.
So much action.
Oh, by the way, that white and blue number 21, that's Johnny Sauter. Won half the races so far this year. Moving in on Harrison Burton and Christian Eckes.
Going for 3 in a row tonight is Sauter. Hasn't been done by a Truck Series regular since 2009. That was Ron Hornaday. And Sauter's not done yet. You better believe that. Matt Crafton treated and released from the care center. He's with Caitlin.
Yeah, but a disappointing finish for Matt Crafton after so many positives of the day. We saw you have that front tire go down. What happened from your perspective?
Just racing around a bunch of people that were just weapons at the end of the day. Cut a left front, the 52. I mean, I was trying to get my teammate room. That wasn't the 52's fault. He just moved up. We were racing 3 wide and just blew a left front. The way that year's been.
Thank you.
Yeah, there have been a lot of tough breaks for Crafton this season, and especially early on. I mean, you look at the beginning, the first 4 races, his average finish was 17th in those 4 races, and that's not typical Matt Crafton junior joiner performance.
I think the positive to take out of this night for Matt Crafton is they had a solid truck, a race contending truck tonight.
I think things have gotten better the last couple of weeks. At least they're pointed in the right direction, and we saw fruits of some of the labor tonight. David Gilliland and Harrison Burton battling for 3rd. Gilliland in that 54. Harrison in the 51. Harrison was our pole winner.
Harrison's used to battling with a Gilliland, but not this Gilliland.
And Johnny Sauter, that truck keeps getting stronger and stronger. He's right behind these 2. There's just so many great stories of guys that have rebounded from issues and have put themselves in a position to try to win this race.
How about the 97 of Jesse Little, the little team that could, up here in the 6th spot late in the going.
And another impressive run for the 2 of Cody Coughlin. That truck was strong all day long today, and Cody's having a nice run here. And Eckes and his father George, I used to race go-karts with them, and it's just amazing. Christian was like 12, it seemed like, and he could wheel a go-kart, and he could certainly wheel a truck today. His dad, George, not so much.
He was a back marker, is that what you're saying?
At best.
Eckes has an ARCA win this season, won at Salem.
That's one of the toughest tracks
it is.
in America. You get it done there.
I don't care what you're driving. You win at Salem, you've done something.
That's exactly right.
I read his press release, and he said if he could come out of here with a top 10, he would be really happy. And I think that would be an excellent start to his Truck Series career. Right now, he's running in the 8th spot.
Right what about pace?
What about Justin Fontaine? He had a crash in practice. They had to repair that truck. Didn't have a whole lot of speed this morning, but now he's running inside the top 10. This is a great run.
They put Ross Chastain in that truck to give him another opinion, and then Justin unfortunately got into the wall. His guys made repairs, and here he is running up in the top 10. Great work by Justin Fontaine and his bunch.
Less than 50 to go, and they click by quickly. They're doing laps in less than 25 seconds, so it doesn't take long to get through 50. Don't want to go anywhere and miss this finish as you look at Justin Haley in the 24 working inside of Myatt Snyder.
Unfortunately, the problems Justin Haley had with his car truck stalling has put him 4 laps down.
There's a truck that hadn't had any problems tonight. Iowa native Brett Moffitt. That last time by, however, Phil, he was the 4th fastest of our top 5 trucks. So the competition's tightened up. You're right, Vince. This is going to get interesting. I don't know that Brett might not be just saving a little bit of that truck right now, keeping those tires as fresh as he possibly can. You certainly don't want to be slipping and sliding. That'll wear your rear tires out.
You see the little serial at the bottom of your screen. He started on the 16th spot. Vince, you can't win this race from 16th starting spot.
Nobody's ever done it. You never know.
And I know that's true because I heard you say it earlier today, Phil.
You know, it'd not only be a big win for Moffitt, I mean, anytime you win, but especially in front of your hometown fans. But also this team has gone through some struggles financially from a sponsorship standpoint. They're here. They're going to be at Gateway next week, but there's some races down the road that are still big question marks for them if they can't get some financial support. And this is a championship caliber team. They need some help, and this is a good way to go out and say, hey, we're worthy of your support. Come on board with us. We might just win you a championship.
Without a doubt, Shiggy Hattori has done such a great job putting this team together. Mike Ricci doing such a great job. Scott Zipadelli calling the shots as the crew chief.
See, Destiny Holmes came on board here for this race. They need some support for the next few if they're going to keep it going.
John Hunter Nemechek was involved in that earlier incident in which Matt Crafton's left front went down, and John Hunter's with Caitlin.
Yeah, Vince, well, John Hunter was hoping to go back-to-back here at Iowa, but involved in the melee. What happened from your vantage point?
Crafton blew a left front tire. He had a rub, and we were on the outside, and he blew it getting in one, and there's really nothing you can do there. I was trying to back out of the situation because they put us 4 wide, but I wasn't on the brake pedal hard enough. Hate it for all my guys, Romco Equipment, Fire Alarm Services, Fleetwing Davy, Constructors, Chevy Silverado. It was fast. It was fun being able to move around on the racetrack, that's for sure. Sad we couldn't get it done tonight, but running double duty here this weekend, and we have a really fast Chevy accessories, number 42 tomorrow, so looking forward to it.
Thank you. John Hunter Nemechek has another shot to get the win tomorrow night in the Xfinity race, Vince.
Yeah, make sure you're watching the Xfinity Series tomorrow night. You're on FS1. Going to be a good one. They had a couple of entertaining practices today. The qualifying race tomorrow.
Just inching in ever so slightly. The 18 of Noah Gregson, you can see him coming into the picture there again. That last time by, a couple of tenths better than our leader, Brett Moffitt. Be interested to know if that truck's going away or if he is indeed just pacing himself. You just need a lead of a truck length, right? You don't need to drive away from everyone. You need to take care of that truck. Hermie, are they having issues, or has he just got it backed off a little bit?
Michael, he's getting a lot of information about the line that Noah Gregson is running behind him. You'll see the 16 right now going to the top side or the middle of the racetrack. Sometimes he's at the bottom. They have told him that the 18 is pretty much moving up the racetrack on both ends, and they think he's gaining. So I expect to see the 16, as we are seeing, move to the top of the racetrack as well, not only to try to maintain some speed, but maybe also to take some air off the front end of that 18. We'll see how it shakes down. 35 to go.
Well, you remember that line that nearly won the race here a year ago, Phil. I'm talking right out next to the outside wall, so there is more grip up there if you want to go hunt for it.
Yeah, another truck width at least up there above that last seam on the top of the racetrack. There was grip last year for sure. Remember, this race started an hour and a half earlier than that one did last year.
You know, but that's how you win races. You have great communication from the crew chief to the spotter, and then informing the driver what's going on behind him so he can make those adjustments to his driving style and his line that he's using. He saw that truck getting bigger in his rearview mirror. He found out why it was, and he's addressing that.
Bump that lead up to about 0.8 of a second now. It's kind of vaults back between 0.6 and 0.8.
The last 2 laps now, he has been faster than Noah Gregson in the 18 truck, so there's definitely some speed as he moved up the racetrack into the lane that Noah Gregson's running.
But we saw earlier, Todd Gilliland, he jumped the cushion, got loose up there running that high groove. So there's a bit of a risk reward associated with running on the high side.
And I think you have to work your way up there too, Michael. You can't just jump up in that top lane. You have to move that rubber up there, clean off that area as you move it up.
And look behind Gregson. David Gilliland said, I'm not done yet. This driver is really on it tonight, and he's closed in on Gregson.
Harrison Burton behind Gilliland in 4th. As far as Gregson's concerned, he had a good year here last year. He won the pole, led 16 laps, ended up 6th. But they had a lot of confidence coming into this race here tonight, as you would expect from Kyle Busch Motorsports. I mean, as an organization, they had already recorded 3 wins here. Eric Jones won a couple. William Byron won here in 2016.
You know, that 54 of David Gilliland, 12 years ago tomorrow, he won the Xfinity race at Kentucky, and that put him on the map. It led to a cup ride with Robert Yates Racing, a long career up at the top level of NASCAR. And 12 years ago tomorrow, that happened.
And that was a huge upset, just like this would be tonight if this 54 truck could win.
Of stunning proportions, I would say.
David Gilliland, the co-owner of that team that runs the 54 along with Bo Lamastus, and they also run cars, late models, K&N, ARCA, and they've got the entire ladder covered and provide some good trucks, and David Gilliland has given it a good ride tonight, that's for sure. But right now he's chasing those 2 young men, and the 18 of Noah Gragson and the 16 of Brett Moffitt.
Moffitt's really slipped the last couple of laps. You can see that deficit's now down to just a couple of truck lengths. I don't know where he gave up the speed at, because we saw him gain on Gregson there for a few laps, and now he's losing it all.
Less than 30 to go. Moffitt trying to win for the 2nd time this season, trying to do it in front of the hometown fans. Noah Gragson also has a win already this season, currently sits 2nd in the championship standings.
Vince, I asked a lot of the crew chiefs as we watched both battles. That's the battle for the lead on the left and the battle for 3rd on the right. I said, when is it too early to put on your last set of tires? Most of these teams have one more set of tires on pit road. And they said, well, before lap 30, before 30 laps to go, maybe too early. But right now, guys, we have 27 laps to go. So if the caution were to come out right now, I think they come to pit road and put their last set of tires on.
Yeah, I would agree. Using some lap traffic now. That's Austin Wayne Self in the 22. Gets put between 1st and 2nd, but Gregson quickly disposes of Self.
You know, and these trucks are really starting to slip and slide now. The lap times are falling off dramatically, and this is a time in the race where you try to be so precise with your line and not spin those tires so you can have a nice run off the corner like you saw Moffitt do there.
Rudy Fugle, crew chief for Noah Gragson, told me that there was less grip, he thought, this year than there was last year. The times are really falling off.
25 laps left here at Iowa. Harrison Burton trying to take a peek inside of David Gilliland for 3rd.
See him hook the yellow line there. Let's see if he can clear him as he comes off turn 2. Not able to do it.
There you can see the last time the drivers were on pit road, Johnny Sauter has not been able to make up the ground we thought he would be able to. Kind of got stuck back in traffic and hadn't made any progress.
Yeah, there are a lot of caution laps in between lap 110 and 124, so I think the tire situation was about even. Remember, the guys that stayed out and pitted on lap number 124 wanted to get to the end of that 2nd stage to get those stage points.
Gregson's got it down to just a truck length. And you got to give a shout out to Rudy Fugle. That truck wasn't that good early in the race, Phil. They made a couple of adjustments during their pit stops, and they dialed it in. That sounds like Rudy Fugle,
yes,
doesn't it?
It does.
And that's one of the things Rudy's talked about that they haven't done so well this season, is get better as the race has progressed. And as they feel like the truck is really good off the truck at the beginning of the weekend, but as the race progresses, they don't get better. And they have changed that tonight. They have been a contender with their speed and handling this evening, no question about it. He still chases down Brett Moffitt with 22 laps to go. And remember, all these teams running here in the top 4 have a set of tires in the pits. If we get a yellow, I think we're going to see him come.
Harrison Burton able to make his way around David Gilliland to take over that third spot.
Now, does he charge up there and give Noah Gregson a battle?
I think we have to, Michael. There's only 21 laps to go. If you have anything left, let's use it now. You can't bank on another caution flag.
Well, and is there any point that the caution comes too late for these guys to come get the tires?
Yes. Yes. And answer the question, yes.
But
not sure exactly when it is, but yes.
And darn, it's going to be fun if it does.
Our Camping World 20 to go. Man, it has been a great race, and we know the last 20 are going to be no different. Brett Moffitt trying to hold on in his home track and get the win, being chased by Noah Gregson, Harrison Burton, David Gilliland, and Johnny Sauter is back there as well. Sauter trying to win his third consecutive race.
Or any mistake by the 16 of Moffitt, and Noah Gregson will be right there on top of him.
And he's gotten there a couple of times, Phil, but Moffitt's been able to hold off the charge. I think he just is running that thing hard enough to keep him at bay, but he just, like you said, you can't make a mistake. We've seen drivers slip sideways and into that outside wall.
It's the 25 of Dalton Sargent up ahead of Moffitt. Moffitt comes up and Sargent dips to the bottom.
Nice move by Sargent to get out of the way of these guys racing for the lead.
And a lot of times, well, almost I would about guarantee the spotter for Dalton Sargent told him the leaders are coming, and for Sargent to take the bottom lane. Myatt Snyder inside the top 10, currently runs 9th.
It's a nice effort for that team.
Ford Facts, as you look at the Iowa finishes for this Thor Sport group. Ben Rhodes was 4th here a couple of years ago. Crafton a winner. Of course, it's been a tough night for Rhodes, Crafton, and Infinger. They've all had contact.
Another cat in the Ford doing a nice job is Jesse Little. He runs along in the 6th position.
Yeah, Grant Infinger doing a nice job with all the damage he had to that 98 truck to maintain 11th place spot right now.
It's a big run for Snyder, too, as he battles Dalton Sargent for not just the Rookie of the Year standings, but also to climb into that playoff picture as well.
It's tightening up again, Phil. Here comes Noah Gregson. Last time by, about a 10th and a half better than Moffitt.
15 to go here at Iowa, and for those of you tuning in looking for drag racing, we'll have qualifying for the NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals in Bristol coming up right here on FS1 as soon as we're done here in Iowa. So hang on with us here until the checkered flag flies, or you can tune over to FS2 right now for the NHRA action if you so desire.
Brett Moffitt, way more experienced than these two chasers right now. Noah Gregson's 2nd full year in the Truck Series, already a 2-time winner though in the Truck Series. Harrison Burton just really getting his feet wet here in the Truck Series. Brett right now looks like he's running the perfect line, the perfect race.
There's Scott Zipadelli, the crew chief for Brett Moffitt. And Michael, you're familiar with Moffitt. He ran for MWR.
Yeah.
Some races for you guys.
A great,
at the Cup level.
A great young racer. And just a very talented racer, and he's gotten himself in the right position to go out and win on any given race weekend. And he's certainly having to drive as focused and as well as he ever has right now with those trucks bearing down on him. Heck, his other 2 victories, I think he only led 2 laps. So this is new territory for him. He's out front and having to try to hold off the winner, or the leader, excuse me, 2nd place, and win the race.
What do you mean I have to hold him off for 75, 80 laps?
I don't know how to do that, I don't think.
Of course, Moffitt had that thrilling outside pass to win at Michigan, and then the equally thrilling victory at Atlanta earlier this season.
On the inside.
Yep.
He's equal opportunity passing for the win.
Final 10 laps at Iowa, and it is Brett Moffitt trying to hold off Noah Gregson, and Harrison Burton is within a second of the leader as well.
Vince, you speculated maybe Brett Moffitt might be holding something back, or maybe you did, Michael. Maybe Noah Gragson was holding something back, waiting for a final push here towards the end.
We've seen so much maturity out of Gragson. He's made some mistakes racing with Johnny Sauter at Dover, but also he's been able to put the whole race together as well.
All right, Hermie, how's that 18 riding? Is he going to have a shot?
Just unbelievable how much information is being poured to these drivers with 9 laps to go. We talked about Moffitt moving up the racetrack. Well, now the spotter and crew chief of the 18, Noah Gragson, are reminding him back to the Xfinity race early this year at Richmond when he was trying to chase down Christopher Bell, how he started to back up the entry to the corner and get more of a drive off. Since he started to do that, especially in turn 3 right here, it has really helped him close the gap. Can he get to the 16, and then can he pass him, will be another question.
Well, Noah Gragson has a couple of great helpers, not just Rudy Fugle, the crew chief, but Tony Hirschman, the spotter, who also spots for Kyle Busch at the Cup level. I mean, he's as good as they come, and if there's going to be anybody giving you advice, getting it from Hirschman and Rudy Fugle, that's a couple of big assets in your corner.
Phil, I don't really know what a catbird seat is, but is Harrison Burton sitting in it? Like, I think that's a good place to be. And these two out front, it could get physical.
6 laps left. Look at them, the top 3 right there.
We know how bad Noah Gragson wants to win. We know how hard he takes it when he doesn't win, when he feels like he doesn't get what he should get. I don't think he'll hesitate maybe to use that bumper if he has to, and Harrison Burton will be right there.
Coming to 5 to go. Here at Iowa, it is Brett Moffitt trying to win in front of the hometown fans, and Noah Gragson is closing the gap. He's within 0.2 of a second, and Harrison Burton, the pole winner, had to come from the back of the field after having an issue after winning the pole, and now he is right there, less than a half second away.
What a battle here.
4 to go. Gragson takes a look inside. Moffitt still holding him off.
I think that was a test. I think Noah Gragson said, let me drive down to the inside and see what my truck will do down there. I don't think it worked.
But you got to be careful if you're Gragson, not get down there and lose your momentum and give up that second spot to Harrison Burton, who's ready to pounce. 3 laps left.
This is some precision driving by Brett Moffitt. I think he's running that thing just hard enough to keep that gap. But can Noah Gragson mount a charge here late?
Coming to the line, there are 2 laps remaining. Moffitt, Gragson, and Burton all within a half second of one another for the win.
Every time it looks like that Noah Gragson gets close, Brett Moffitt reaches back and grabs a little bit more.
So frustrating to be that close for Gragson. He closes the gap again.
Coming to the white flag. Brett Moffitt has one more circuit to hold off Noah Gragson. Can Gragson make a charge? Moffitt gapping him a little bit more. Oh, what a special night for Brett Moffitt if he can hold off Gragson. Gragson dives down for the lead, tries to pass into the wall. It's not going to work, and Moffitt has done it in front of the hometown fans.
You just wanted your hometown, baby.
Oh,
good
yeah.
work. Unbelievable, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody involved, everybody that came out here and supported this. My God. Wow. Thank you, thank you.
That is awesome.
You can hear the emotion in his voice and what that means to Brett Moffitt to win at Iowa Speedway.
How about that effort by Noah Gragson there? You talked about Carl Edwards earlier in Kansas several years ago.
Watch this. He said, I got one shot at this baby, and I'm taking it. He just liked a little bit.
I don't think Rudy Fugle would have a problem with that, bruising the right side of that truck up with that effort he made right there.
I would want to yank that young man up out of the truck and give him a hug. That's what I want from my driver. You got to go for it.
Yeah, Gregson was second to Moffitt at Atlanta as well. He's tired of seeing that 16 be out in front of him. Hermie.
Scott Zippadelli is the crew chief for Brett Moffitt. How about the effort of your team and your driver and your crew? It's much talked about. You guys are looking for sponsorship to make each race. Have a bad weekend at Texas, and you come back this week and win in your driver's home state. How do you process all of that?
Hard work, and just got a really, really good group, and Brett does an amazing job, and great support from Toyota, great Toyota Tundra. Mark Cronquist built a great engine. Pit crew did a good job. Brett Moffitt's father, his company come on board, Smart Homes, Concrete Supply, everybody. It's just an amazing experience being in this race team, small team. Everybody's pulling their weight in the same direction, and good things are happening.
Second win for Brett Moffitt. He's going to victory lane at Iowa.
What a special night for this team and this driver, Brett Moffitt. 25 years old, from Grimes, Iowa, about 40 miles down the road, and a lot of family and friends in those grandstands were pulling for the 16 tonight, and they see their man win. Wow. Well, there was some heartbreak in this one tonight too, and Noah Gragson certainly feeling that this evening, I'm guessing, Caitlin.
Yeah, well, actually, he said just getting out of the truck, wow, that was like a video game. So can you walk me through that last lap trying to make the pass there for the lead, Noah?
Man, Caitlin, we're so close to getting the win there. Just so much fun racing in this track, and I drove it in there. I knew I had him, so tried to do a video game, NASCAR Inside Line. I play that with my buddies, and just overshot a little bit, committed to the gas, and I hit the fence. Sorry to my guys at Kyle Busch Motorsports. They build really fast Toyota Tundras. I want to say congrats to Brett Moffitt. I appreciate him running me clean. This track, Iowa Speedway, best racetrack on the circuit. I wish we can come here 2, 3, maybe 5 times a year, but I don't know. I'm okay with finishing second. We put up a fight. From where we were when we started the race to where we are now, I'm really pumped up. Just so much fun. Thanks to Staple Auto Glass, Toyota, TRD, Kyle and Samantha Busch, Rowdy Chassis. It's a group effort, and really good pit stops all day. So video game-like style racing here, that's what Iowa puts off, and it was so much fun. I have a smile on my face. Normally I'm not very happy when I finish second, but finished second, got a smile on my face. It can't be that bad.
Nice job. Noah Gragson, the runner-up here in Iowa. Vince?
Good to see him smiling. Oh, that guy's got a big smile inside that helmet too. Brett Moffitt, 3rd career win. Hey, next week, it's a tough act to follow, but if it could be done, it can be done at Gateway. Some more short track racing. Going to be some fun underneath the arch in St. Louis.
Now that racetrack's a mile and a quarter, and it may be more like a short track than this one was. Certainly going to be some great racing, banging side by side.
John Hunter Nemechek won that one a year ago, and will be there next Saturday right here on FS1. Well, it was a great win tonight for Brett Moffitt. It's his 2nd one of the year, and remember, his first came at Atlanta. Kyle Busch, remember, he lost that left rear tire, and then Moffitt on the restart went from the 2nd row to the front, made that great pass, and took the checkered flag. What a great day that was for Brett Moffitt, and maybe surpassed only by this one here today, Hermie.
Vince, this is a happy victory lane, I can tell you that. Driver, crew, fans, everybody here, unbelievable win. To win this race, you had to drive just about a perfect last 50 laps. Given what this team is going through, getting to the racetrack, and being we're in your home state, What does this one mean to you?
This is everything, being in my home state and on Father's Day weekend. My dad's done everything for me in my career and been my rock in my whole life. And to be here in Victory Lane with the Destiny Home Smart Series Toyota, everything Ison's done for us all year. Good race. Yeah, that was awesome. So much fun. Thank you. Man, no, it was fast at the end, so it was hard holding him off, but you know, everyone at Toyota does such a great job for us, and a lot of strong Toyota finishes tonight, and just can't thank Shiggy and everyone involved in this deal enough to give me the opportunity to be here. You know, we didn't know if we were going to Texas, and we are still uncertain about Chicago, so we really need some more sponsors on this truck and let us run for a championship.
So you're talking to the sponsors. We're told that past Gateway, we're not sure what this team has in store. I know it's a big win. If you want to talk to a sponsor or somebody that may be watching, what is it that this team can offer? Why should they come on board with you?
Man, this is just such a great group of guys. Everyone's so passionate, and we work really hard. You know, we're not the biggest team, but we proved tonight we're the best, and I think we can have some more wins this season and go to Victory Lane a few more times. So, and more importantly, compete for a championship, and that's what we need to do.
2 wins on the season for Brett Moffitt. Caitlin?
Hermie, it was also a career best for Harrison Burton. Battle back from those throttle issues. How would you assess your day, Harrison?
Could have been better, obviously. We had a great race truck, and I made a mistake and didn't know how to reset the car once it was turned off, and the computer and the Ilmor. I haven't raced much with this Ilmor motor, so trying to get used to it, trying to learn as much as I can. I just made a mistake, and had a lot of fun racing out here, and it was cool to run up on the top and on the bottom, and what a race for the fans. It was awesome to Noah just send it off in there. That reminded me of Carl Edwards back in the day, a long time ago, so that was cool. I was hoping they were going to get into each other and I was going to scoot by, but it just wasn't our day, and I'll move on and get better and win the next one.
Nice job, Harrison Burton, top 5 here. We'll see him again at Bristol in a couple weeks. Vince?
Yeah, indeed, a terrific effort from Harrison. Won the pole today, led laps, and finished 3rd tonight.
How about great, best career finish for Jesse Little in 6th.
And Christian Eckes, it couldn't have gone much better for his debut. Some troubles early, was able to rebound.
Cody Coughlin, top 10, 4 out of the last 5. Very well done.
On the move, that team.
Hey, thanks to Caitlin Vincey and Hermie Sadler, Michael Waltrip, Phil Parsons. I'm Vince Welch. Man, we had a lot of fun tonight. Congratulations, Brett Moffitt, the winner in his hometown, winning at Iowa.